gracias. Estoy debatiéndome entre si hablar en español o en inglés. En español, por favor. Daré espacio en español para que me traduzcan bien. Estamos llegando hasta el final de estos 3 días y medio intensos, en los cuales hemos vivido con pasión la participación en muchísimas sesiones. Han visto, hemos tenido aproximadamente más de 50 sesiones en estos días, y es una cantidad impresionante de trabajos presentados, muchos pósters, exhibiciones artísticas, displays. En general, comenzaría llamando a nuestra chair, a Diane, para que haga entrega de uno de los premios de IASSCS, el award por el póster a cargo de, que se entrega a Israel Jacob Flores, de Colombia. Estamos entregando además un libro como premio. Y la segunda
It's a great pleasure when you have a position and after you have so much conversation, so many meetings, to be able to do the pleasurable tasks such as this one of awarding these presentations to people who have worked hard and have deserved it. And we are so pleased and excited, and we wish you well in your future work, and we're so glad to be part of that.
En segundo lugar, tengo la satisfacción de llamar a Corina Strasma de HIVOS y de la oficina de Sudamérica de HIVOS para que haga el premio del IASSCS Paper Award a Marisa Fassi de Argentina.
Okay, I presented this because we needed some funds for Amar in Córdoba, so it will go for them.
Aprovecho para pedir a Corina algunas palabras como representante de una de las organizaciones que desde hace muchos años apoya la realización de las conferencias HIVOS.
Bueno, en primer lugar quisiera felicitar a todos los y las organizadores del IASSCS para una excelente conferencia. He disfrutado mucho las sesiones de alta calidad. Y también las sesiones donde se presentaron una variedad de temas y también dando espacio, plataforma para jóvenes investigadores. Yo creo que es un espacio casi único entre académicos, activistas y nosotros que trabajamos en la cooperación para dialogar, intercambiar y aprender. Y bueno, lo que conocen IASSCS para nosotros, temas de sexualidad, derechos sexuales, derechos reproductivos, diversidad sexual, son íntimamente relacionados con cualquier tema de desarrollo. Y por esa razón hemos apoyado desde no sé cuántos años a estas conferencias, más de 10 años, ¿no? Sí. Y también gracias al colega Franz Mom que...
Franz, por favor.
Él también sigue disfrutando estas conferencias, ya está jubilado de IWOS, pero siempre da sus gran aportes. Y entonces como IWOS esperamos que podamos continuar el apoyo a estos espacios de encuentro, porque también para nuestra práctica y para el desarrollo de nuestras estrategias es impredecible de tener a ustedes los investigadores y tener esta posibilidad de intercambio y de aprendizaje. Entonces, otra vez, mis felicitaciones y mucho éxito con la organización del próximo Congreso.
Yeah, in continuation of our award, we now invite Ana Luisa Ligori to give the award on culture, health and sexuality.
Bueno, muchas gracias por este honor de poder entregar este premio y estoy aquí por dos razones. Uno, como un oficial de programa de la Fundación Ford que ha estado apoyando también mucho tiempo a IASSCS, y para mí ha sido un gusto a través de los años poder participar y seguir el avance de cómo va tomando cuerpo esta perspectiva de investigación en sexualidad. Y pues sobre todo el premio que estamos viendo aquí es para jóvenes investigadores. La otra razón por la que estoy es porque soy también del comité editorial de Cultural Health and Sexuality. Para anunciar el premio yo voy a hacer, como decías tu inglés-español, la mitad en inglés porque el premiado no habla español, entonces por él voy a hacer el anuncio en inglés. Quisiera decir unas palabras, creo que aquí casi todo el mundo conoce Culture, Health and Sexuality, pero bueno, ahora paso al inglés. This is the lead international environment for the publication of papers in the fields of culture, health and sexuality. It is a genuinely international editorial board and I've been on it from the beginning. More specifically, the journal aims to provide a forum for the analysis of culture and health and beliefs and systems, social structures and divisions, and the implications for sexual health. An environment in which the policy and practice implications of research in the fields of culture and health and cultural and reproductive and sexual health can be considered. This journal was first published in 1999. It started with a few publications a year. Now it has very robust publications of between 10 and 13 every year. From the start, IASSCS has had a link with the journal, although all the editorial decisions are independent. So I would like now to say who will receive the award. It's Samuel Muchoki. Someone has taken some of the courses, the post-conference courses of IASSCS, and I met him at the Policy Watch workshop, so I was able to see the way he thinks, to know some more about his work, so it's such a great pleasure for me to be able to give you the award. So the only thing I have to say, the caveat is, as in other occasions, the paper will have to go through peer review. Once it's reviewed and hopefully accepted, and we're very optimistic it will be accepted, you will also receive £500.
Okay. next award is for Jomi Mirage.
This is the honorary mention. Congratulations.
Okay, the next is Vivian Guajiro for the next award.
Short announcements. Actually, you have seen these leaflets. One is the call for papers and mentors. That we are currently receiving applications for publication mentoring program, and the deadline is October 8th. It's for both mentors and mentees. So if you want to use that opportunity, please don't miss the deadline. And also, in October, we'll release another call, the second call for the Emerging Scholars International Research Fellowships, ¿no? Vamos a liberar el nuevo llamado para becas o premios de investigación de investigadores emergentes. Finalmente, en relación con esto y las publicaciones, queremos en esta oportunidad poder comenzar un proceso de publicación del mayor número posible de papers presentados en esta excelente conferencia en Culture, Health and Sexuality, en un número especial que estaría listo en la próxima conferencia, y para ello vamos a hacer un llamado con un calendario, probablemente prepropuestas en octubre, y vamos a invitar a un número especial específico de personas que tengan prepropuestas aprobadas, de modo de poderlas enviar y pasar por todo el proceso de peer review, ¿no? Pero queremos hacer el proceso desde ahora, de modo que tengamos suficiente tiempo para un número muy bueno. También en ese sentido les quiero avisar que para esta reunión habíamos preparado y hemos preparado un número especial de Culture, Health and Sexuality, que no puede estar con ustedes por un problema fortuito en la aduana, ¿no? Que digamos por algunas regulaciones especiales no se ha podido retirar a pesar de todos los esfuerzos que se han hecho para retirarlo, ¿no? Entonces, lo que estamos viendo con Culture, Health and Sexuality, cómo logramos un acceso en línea, online, pero todos los abstracts contenidos en este volumen, el volumen contenía un artículo de bienvenida, 3 papers de la conferencia anterior y todos los abstracts. Esto está todos los abstracts están en el CD que ustedes han recibido, y vamos a ver la forma de hacerles llegar el número especial que habíamos preparado con mucho cariño, que IASSCS había preparado con mucho cariño, con el esfuerzo de Eddie Blackwood y Diane Mauro.
Hola, las conclusiones a las que llegamos en nuestra reunión de comité de publicación y difusión ayer fueron las siguientes. Una, la necesidad de establecer una suerte de trabajo de redes con otras instituciones, universidades, por ejemplo, centros de investigación, programas de género y sexualidad. Eso para poder aumentar aún más la presencia del enfoque que da IASSCS a los temas de sexualidad, hacernos un poco más conocidos en nuestro trabajo.
Al mismo tiempo, este trabajo de redes, no solamente con instituciones, también fortalecerlo a nivel de la participación de los miembros asociados. Ustedes se han inscrito y entonces se prevé que este comité de publicación pueda dar herramientas como por ejemplo el website, el boletín que probablemente se vaya a editar y una lista de intercambio, y de esta manera poder favorecer un poco más nuestro propio trabajo en redes, ¿no? Y mayor intercambio. Se supone que los miembros asociados pueden acceder al website y participar ahí de los foros que vayan a promoverse. Luego se ha previsto también que el website de IASSCS sea un espacio de recursos, de poder compartir, ¿no? Así como vamos a intercambiar, también vamos a compartir, por ejemplo, publicaciones, artículos de investigación, llamados artículos para publicar en revistas importantes, etc. Es un poco lo que se trata.
Now I invite Sonia Correa to present the findings or the results of the meeting on policy and advocacy.
Hi, everybody. This committee has discussed yesterday, and it was a very interesting discussion because IASSCS has been struggling for some time how to address the question of policy and advocacy in relation to research, what could be the niche of IASSCS in relation to that. And the committee that met yesterday have basically decided on 3 lines of work for the future. The first is to prioritize connections between advocacy and research for the 2015 IASSCS conference, in the sense to make calls for application and to provide space in the conference for those connections to be addressed in a more systematic and substantive manner. As Violeta has said before me, it is also in the plan of the association to improve and make the website much more interactive, to invite the associates to interact with the website. So the second line of work is to make the best possible the website of the association a place where exchanges can take place in terms of both information and analysis in regard to advocacy, relevant advocacy processes in the domain of sexuality, broadly speaking, and also for people that are either doing advocacy or doing research that is deeply connected with advocacy or policy change, to be able to exchange their experiences in a more systematic manner in the website itself. Also to include in the IASSCS newsletter one specific session to look into issues of advocacy and policy in terms of articulation with research. And a promise from at least 2011 is that IASSCS should in this next cycle make its best effort to give priority to the MENA region in terms of both participation in the next conference, but also in terms of creating connections and synergies in relation to policy and advocacy, in particular in the context of that region, for the reasons everybody in this room can acknowledge. Thank you.
Now I invite Gary to report on the Research and Development and Training Committee.
Thanks, Ava. The Research and Training Committee looks after 3 particular programs of IASSCS: the Advancing Sexuality short course, we had a session on that yesterday, post-conference training, which will start in a couple of days, and also the Emerging Scholars Fellowships. They're our particular briefs. So a good group met at the meeting yesterday, and some of the people were actually graduates of all of those particular programs in IASSCS, which was very gratifying. In IASSCS, I always get confused with our acronyms. In IASSCS. But the point was made that we have had now 5 PCTs, post-conference trainings, and how do we actually build the links between the graduates of those programs, the people who come to these conferences, the people who are participants in the Advancing Sexuality Studies short course, and the membership of IASSCS. How do we build the connections and build the organisations as a result of the initiatives that we undertake to develop research and training globally? So that there's a big issue facing us about how to build our membership from our own productive work inside the organisation. The second thing that came up was concerning the travelling fellowships. The Emerging Scholars Fellowships, these are $5,000 on the current budget that we have. They're meant to supplement scholarship, not meant to fund a complete PhD, but the issues were raised about the best way to budget that kind of money, and the committee is going to take that advice to its meeting here on Monday. A third issue was seeking out other sources of funding. At the moment, the Advancing Sexuality Studies short course, the fellowships and the PCT are reliant on donors and funders to IASSCS itself. These are expensive programs to run, and we have some models to develop other kinds of funding partnerships to increase the funding base for some of these activities. But it is a difficult task to raise funds for these initiatives outside the core funding that IASSCS have. And so we had some suggestions and some ideas, but we are looking to the broader membership of IASSCS itself and to our friends and people who come to our conferences to think of other ways that we might subsidise, cross-fund the various activities that we have and to increase the impact of those activities. We looked at the issue of increasingly moving towards online training in the area of research. This is happening all around the world at the moment. The problems of moving to online training, particularly for some countries in the south where access is not particularly good. And so while you reduce costs of online training in terms of time, personnel and access, it creates other kinds of problems for access and utility in the global south and elsewhere. And those are issues that the committee will be taking on board on Monday as we look at moving the agenda forward, particularly in the Advancing Sexuality Studies short course, which is investigating both online and continuing face-to-face delivery, if that is fundable and affordable. We also looked at the continuity of the post-conference training program. Its 5th iteration, as I said, is this year in Buenos Aires. We're putting together a history from the first, which happened in San Francisco in 2005, and to try and retrace the records for the archives. We haven't got all of those records together because the organisation was growing at the same time. We were gratified to see someone from the PCT in 2005 here at the conference, so we could grab her and borrow from her memory about what went on. But we are seeking to rebuild the archive with 2 views. One is to have a look and see what's happened to graduates of those courses, what they've taken with them from those training programs. But secondly, to look at the possibility of firming up a kind of core curriculum in the post-conference training, not so much in terms of defined content, but possible large thematic areas that can be moving from post-conference training to post-conference training event, but at the same time still be localised in wherever the conference is being held, so that it's pertinent to that region and that place. And finally, we called for volunteers from the interested group of people who was there, for people who might like to put themselves forward for consideration for membership of the committee. The current committee's been sitting for a few years now. Some of us are getting old. We would like to see other people joining in all committees indeed. We'd like to see people from the membership of IASSCS and our friends to join the organisation and start participating in the work of those committees. And so I'm pleased to say we had a number of volunteers put their hands up, and we'll be getting in touch with them shortly.
Thank you very much, Harry. Speaking about membership, first of all, I would like to invite our chair, Diane, to join us here. Diane Dimao. Diane wanted not to be so visible because she's helped IASSCS be in the board for 4 years, but support has been fundamental. And we hope to have elections this year, but I mean, Diane has been there and has helped in this process of IASSCS becoming a more mature organization. We're still young, but definitely we are not where we were 5 years ago. Entonces, de hecho, one of the things we want to do is to actually think about membership. IASSCS has been an organization with many people coming to the conferences every other year, but where people didn't necessarily become members. No? And so we understand that, we understand why, perhaps, but because of that, because it's important to become an organization that works beyond the conferences themselves, and becomes a more active and permanent network of people. We are finding ways in which that can be facilitated. So one of the things we're going to do in this effort to increase our permanent membership is to, for those of you who register to this conference and also pay the membership for this year, we're going to offer an extended membership towards the next conference, so that you won't stop being members of IASSCS by the end of this year, but you will actually remain members and have access to the membership benefits. Those of you who just registered but didn't pay for the membership, we're going to offer a possibility for you to become members as well until January at the special in special conditions, so that this will be possible perhaps for more of you. And we'll clarify what the benefits of members are. In this case, we'll have the possibility of offering access to culture, health and sexuality online starting next year, because until now it's through the printed version, but now we'll have access to the online version, and we'll finalize improvements of our intranet within the new website, facilitate or enable the forums, participation in committees, and access to special kinds of information and directories. Also the possibility of being part of the IASSCS member directory, which will be a tool for networking, and potentially for some people it might be a tool, a professional tool as well, to perhaps be invited to be part of an institution, a job, etc. So we also 2 days ago incorporated new members, and about 8 members from various regions, and we hope will be part of full members, because you pay for a membership and you become associate members, and we through a special procedure that is explained in our website, people can be proposed who are associate members and they can become full members, and we hope to be able to do that with more people who are now or become associate members in the near future. So we're really in a campaign to increase the permanent membership for IASSCS, and invite you to consider this possibility. So I think now we're done with announcements, and I would start with, comenzaría con los agradecimientos, para regresar al español. Para comenzar, creo que el trabajo del International Organizing Committee de esta 9ª conferencia ha sido excelente. Ha habido un trabajo permanente de comunicación con un grupo que a través de teleconferencias o por correo electrónico ha mantenido ha ido desarrollando poco a poco cada uno de los procesos del programa académico, ¿no? Entonces, a ese comité está listado en el programa programa. No los voy a leer, no voy a leer los nombres porque son muchos. Yo pido un aplauso para ellos. Luego, de hecho, seguro Mario va a tener una lista más larga de personas a las cuales agradecer, pero el equipo que ha central, que ha estado trabajando en la conferencia a nivel logístico, organizativo, administrativo y poniendo en práctica lo académico. Voy a comenzar por el equipo local, Fernanda Killer, Carolina José. Hay una lista larga de voluntarios y voy a pasar luego el micrófono. Mario lo va a hacer. Tal vez hay voluntarios locales, una serie de organizaciones e instituciones que nos han ayudado. De hecho, el board de IASSCS ha tomado las decisiones oportunas en el momento apropiado, y eso nos ha permitido resolver problemas que se fueron presentando y salir adelante, ¿no? Una última cosa que yo voy a decir antes de pasar la palabra a mis colegas es que también vamos a lanzar una convocatoria muy pronto para la próxima sede, for the next venue of the 10th International IASSCS Conference, ¿no? Querríamos que hay condiciones en términos de digamos, quién la puede hacer, ¿no? Que haya una institución, que haya una persona que conozca a IASSCS, pero queremos comenzar ese proceso pronto, seleccionar la próxima sede y poder comenzar la organización, porque mientras más tiempo tengamos, mejor. Entonces, yo creo que solo quiero agradecer a nombre del board de IASSCS y también del secretariado, trabajo de manera muy cercana en Lima, porque para nosotros tener esa oportunidad de esta fantástica concurrencia de excelentes papers, sentimos que nos ha hecho crecer a nivel individual y como grupo y aporta globalmente al trabajo en estos temas. No sé si mis colegas
I would like to just say a few words. It's terrifically gratifying for me to have served for 4 years and to now become a private citizen, a private member of IASSCS, a very engaged and active private member who will work to motivate others to become active and engaged members. I think an organization is only as good as its members. And that's certainly the case for this one. And so I really strongly urge you to move through the channels that we are trying to increasingly make more democratic, more open, more inclusive, so that we could have the kinds of meetings that we've had and come together in the future for even more of meetings that involve, in terms of decision making and in terms of increased activities, a much more expanded membership population. That's really our goal, and that's something that I feel very strongly about and very pleased to have participated in moving that process forward. I'd also want to personally thank Mario for the incredible amount of work and task it has taken to put a conference like this together and work for months and months and months, and in the face of as well some serious personal challenges and other work that he has been experiencing. It's been really a remarkable and wonderful conference, and we have our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to you for that.
And it is amazing the way this conference space as well as all the other related activities have grown. This has become a place really where we exchange at such deeper level and also create new territories for interrogation, for rearticulation and developing our theories and practice together. So I'm very happy that we managed once again to have a very, very successful conference. So thanks everybody who has been involved in it from here and outside. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank IASSCS and the Ford Foundation for their consistent and unconditional support to this particular conference and IASSCS. Thank you very much.
Quiero darle personalmente la palabra a Mari para decir, bueno, primero que somos amigos desde hace 15, 16 años y cuando nos conocimos no pensamos que esta amistad y relación profesional se iba a fortalecer en el tiempo, pero agradecerle de manera especial porque el año pasado no teníamos la sede seleccionada todavía y fue un proceso de discusión, si se podía hacer, si no se podía, y fue un acto también de coraje de todos y especialmente de Mario de decir, bueno, lo hacemos y salió y estamos muy contentos, creo que todos, yo particularmente le agradezco mucho, hay digamos, situaciones complejas en la vida de todos, familiares que hacen las situaciones más difíciles y por eso creo que hay que reconocer de manera muy seria el compromiso de la gente y le agradecemos en nombre de IASSCS muchísimo por haber desarrollado esta conferencia, haberla impulsado con su liderazgo de modo que se ha hecho.
Fue coraje o debilidad, yo lo interpretaría más por lo segundo. Lo que sí me considero es un buen intérprete de los sentimientos populares y voy a interpretar dos. Uno, hacerlo breve, así podemos ir a comer. Y dos, el representar el sentimiento de profundo agradecimiento a toda una serie de personas que voy a nombrarles, a pedir un aplauso que sea fuerte y sentido, pero al final así también cumplo con el primer sentir de poder hacerlo rápido, manifestándole la felicidad de que todo salió bien, salvo la cuestión de los damnificados y damnificadas por los robos, que bueno, es un hecho bastante lamentable, pero bueno. Quería agradecer en primer lugar a Carlos y a todo el comité de IASSCS, a las instituciones IASSCS, Open Society Foundation y Ford, pero a su vez a las personas de Ana Luisa, de Franz y de Corina, porque las instituciones también son personas. Quería agradecer a Fátima, Jimena, Ruth, Brenda, Cecilia, Ada, del secretariado en Lima, a Fernando también de Lima, de aquí particularmente a Sara Barrón López, Lucía Ariza, Rafael Blanco, Daniel Jones, Horacio Sibori, Renata y Carolina Caro, que ya fueron mencionadas. Quiero agradecer a Aptra, pero esto es una cuestión personal que los de aquí solamente van a comprender. Y voy a mencionar con su nombre y apellido a las voluntarias y voluntarios que participaron, porque las personas merecen ser nombradas en su individualidad. Alejandro Aimu, Alejandro Capriati, Anaí Fargi, Carlos Camacho, Carlos Alfonso Pacheco Bolívar, Carlos Pataro, Cecilia López Carazoglu, Cintia del Río, Diego Pablo de la Era, Emilio Saldía, Facundo García, Federico Vietti, Gisela Cánovas Herrera, Javier Sarubi, Laura González, María Emilia Villalba, Marian Caminos, Mariana Álvarez Bros, Mariana Palumbo, Martín Boy, Matías Iván Rodríguez, Maximiliano Albornoz, Micaela Lipson, Nancy Carrere, Natalia Durán, Pablo Farneda, Paula Muso, Santiago Giro, Santiago Puñal, Santiago Morcillo, Victoria Castro y Yasmín Mertediquiani. Seguro me estoy olvidando de más de una y más de uno, pero básicamente muchas gracias. Ahora sí les pido un fuerte aplauso.